Snakes. Whether you know it or not, they're all around us. Some people would do anything to avoid snakes, while people like me actually go looking for them. But whether you like them or not, once you understand how to find them, some of their behaviors won't seem so strange. And more importantly, you'll have a better understanding of where they might turn up next. On a recent trip to Georgia, which is about 1,000 miles south of where I live, my friend Jason Clark invited me to spend the day with him looking for snakes on a big southern ranch that was known to be full of them. Come join us on this adventure as we count down the top 10 ways to find a snake. Here we go.
Hello folks, we're down in Georgia. We're out here four-wheeling. My friend Jason from Southeastern Reptile Rescue, he's up ahead of me. I'm trying to keep a little distance because it's kind of dusty. On the left side we got about 1,800 acres of woods. Down on this side is rolling farmland. You can see cotton growing out there. We're hoping today we're gonna find some eastern diamondback rattlesnakes. We're out here on this property that's just full of gopher tortoise burrows.
Tortoises are the home builders of the reptile world. They share their underground shelters with hundreds of critters, including diamondbacks. Once we locate a burrow, we know the snakes are probably close by.
Oh, we just passed a burrow. I just saw my first one. Just saw my first gopher tortoise burrow. And from what the caretaker here on the ranch is telling us, that's the first of many, many burrows that we expect to see today. So this is quite a treat. We're down here in the southeast and we're looking forward to seeing what we can see. Let's catch up with Jason and the guys.
Four-wheelers help you navigate difficult terrain that you can't access with most vehicles, and they'll help you get there in a hurry. Plus, it's a lot of fun to do with your friends.
Jason, shouldn't you be looking at snakes?
I'm setting up my camera for success.
But there, it's a big piece of tin just sitting in the sun. I've got a good feeling we might have a snake right under this tin. Jason is somewhere else. I'll be very happy if I get to find the first snake of the day before he does. So first snake of the day, I think, is going to be under this tin. Let's see if we can find one before Jason does. And, it's nothing. Whole lot of nothing. We'll flip some more. Oh, look at this, guys. We have got tin laying everywhere in here. Try to grab this, and we've got nothing. Oh, wow. I didn't find a diamondback under here, but I did find another burrow. Can you see? With all the shade, hopefully you can see there's another burrow right to the right of my shadow down there.
Ever since tin was invented thousands of years ago, snakes have been hiding under it. It's warm and dry, which attracts the reptiles, and it's lightweight and easy to move, which is great for the herpers looking for snakes, usually.
What's the ants, no snakes? This whole line down the edge here, and if you notice, it's a nice sunny bank, lots of vegetation, so it's going to give the snakes a good place to hide, in addition to the warmth of being under this tin. So we're going to just flip a bunch of tin. Remember, the whole point of this exercise right now is we want to find a snake before Jason does. Take a look up here. You want to make sure as you're taking steps around these things, you're not taking a step onto a coiled up eastern diamondback.
And you know there's a snake in that.
Oh, I know. Let's flip this. A whole lot of nothing so far. Underneath all this tin, it's getting so warm in the sun. I'm actually wearing a sweatshirt because it's cold enough, but we have a high today in the 60s. We have these tortoises and these snakes. They're gonna be trying as it gets warmer to leave the cold and bask out in the sun. Problem is this tin is all connected, so it's gonna be too hard to flip.
It was too hard to flip by hand, but later in the video, you'll see how we flipped it anyway.
See all these nails here? Those nails could end up right through your foot. That's the last thing we want. Well, I'd say probably the last thing we want is an eastern diamondback 3 or 4. Second to last thing we want is those nails. As I'm walking on this wood, listen to the crackle. You hear that crackling wood? It is rotten. That's why this whole structure fell probably years ago. You see there's a structure right across the way there. Similar kind of tin structure. As these old structures rot away, they fall to the ground, and all this metal creates dry and hot habitats that are a reptile magnet.
Crumbling old buildings can create some excellent snake habitat for animals seeking out warm, dry places to hide, but this old structure already caved in once, and there's not much holding up the rest of it. Even if we don't find venomous snakes, we need to be careful the building itself doesn't collapse on us.
Did you guys hear that rattling? Did you guys hear that rattling? Oh, never mind, that's Jason's 4-wheeler.
If you do find the venomous snake, don't get intimidated. I'll come catch it for you.
If you guys don't know Jason, he's actually an alligator agent here in Georgia. And what else are you? Everything?
Everything.
So what Jason does when he goes out is he tries to wear bright colors because he's such a small person. He's very hard to see.
It is deer season. Thank you very much. It's deer season. Jesse's wearing black and camouflage. There's hunters around here.
Unfortunately, it was laundry day at my house, and so I didn't have any good shirts. I had to wear the last shirt available at the bottom of my laundry basket.
You're lucky to even have that shirt.
Oh, really nice skink. Got a really nice 5-line. Yep. Now we have these in Pennsylvania, but we don't have nearly as many, and I have not seen one that is so beautiful. This is a perfect specimen. Let's see if we can take a look, see if he doesn't disappear right away. Look at that. This is a 5-line skink. Now they're beautiful on their own, but as you get to that tail, there is not another animal in nature that has more of a beautiful blue tail than the 5-line skink. Under this couch, that's where we're gonna find our first snake of the day. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way.
What you said under the couch, we're gonna find your first snake of the day?
First,
you gonna say it every time before you flip something over?
Yeah.
They'll say, how do you know that?
All right, here we go, ready?
You're right. No, I'm just kidding.
Ah! Plenty of debris around here. We'll find something. I gotta be careful. If I flip the wrong thing around here, I can actually send this whole barn. Look at that. Send that whole barn toppling on top of me. Let's hope I don't flip the wrong thing. Oh, there's a shotgun shell. Look at this. This is a live shotgun shell. Oh, that's kind of nice. You know what? These boards, these plywoods under here look really promising. It's a little bit treacherous. I gotta climb under that wood. And you guys didn't come here to not see snakes, so I'm gonna go under there and see if this whole barn doesn't collapse on me. If it does, you can see there's a little barn door opening over there. If this thing starts to collapse, if I have time, I'm gonna do an army crawl and just dive under there and see if I can get away. First, I gotta go under here. Oh man. All right. Ooh, feel a little bit nervous that I can make this whole thing topple over. Gonna flip these plywoods, gonna lay them against this back wall, and hopefully the back wall that's already leaning over, hopefully this isn't too much weight that makes the whole thing collapse. Let's see what we got here. Now we got ants. Oh, scorpion, Jason, scorpion. Yeah, come check it out. See, Jason's asking me what kind of scorpion this is. He says there's 2 different kinds of scorpions in Georgia. I don't know anything about either one of them.
Those don't sting.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
They don't sting hard.
Well, we got our first scorpion. It's not a snake, but you know what? That's still the coolest thing we found so far. This is really cool.
In Pennsylvania, we have 0 scorpions, so I'm pretty happy to find that. I don't know what kind of sting he would give us. I'm guessing it's not going to feel good though, whatever it is. So I'm going to save this for Jason. See if I can get it in my hat. Hopefully I don't get too much scorpion venom in my hat when I do this. So I got to put that thing back on my head. Trying. All right. I almost had him in here. Darn it. Get over here. Shoot. All right. He's. Oh gosh. He went under here somewhere.
Flip it up that way toward the wall.
Yeah, that's smart. Ready? Ooh. All right, now. Do you see him yet? I do not see where he went. I mean, he's only like an inch or two. See if we can find that scorpion again. Gosh. Oh, there he is. 2 scorpions. Awesome. Yeah, we got 2 scorpions. Check them out, guys.
Oh, I see them.
Big one and a little one. Jason, what can you tell us about these scorpions?
I don't know. What kind of scorpions? You'll grab one.
Sorry, I'm not good at grabbing scorpions.
I meant with your hand.
I ain't doing that. So
in Georgia, we've got a couple of scorpions. We've got one called the Southern Devil Scorpion. Now those you just saw, those are adults. They only get about an inch long or so. And then you also have a 3-lined scorpion. So where we are in Georgia, I would probably expect to find a 3-lined scorpion. And they do sting. I've been stung by them before. It doesn't feel good, but it's not that bad. I actually stepped on one barefooted one time, and it's maybe like a bee sting, maybe not quite as bad as a bee sting. I kind of felt the effects of it for maybe a half an hour or so, and it was gone after that.
So the bottom line is, if you see a scorpion, don't pick it up.
I mean, I wouldn't pick it up, but if you want to pick it up, I won't stop you.
All right, well, guys, we are in this dangerous barn. We're under the part that's leaning over, and I really don't want to have that thing fall on us. Jason, please do not shake that thing while you're standing there. No, stop. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to go try another area. We haven't found any snakes, but so far we're finding reptiles, we're finding amphibians, and it's pretty cool. We're finding venomous invertebrates like scorpions, 2 of them so far. So who knows, if we're finding scorpions in here, who knows what we're going to find next. Jimmy's back with a tractor. He's going to lift up some really big pieces of tin for us. In some areas, we got entire walls or entire roof sections of this metal structure that are down the ground, too heavy for us to lift. So he went and brought the tractor over, and this is what you call flipping tin farmer style. You see, he's getting under there. Look at that, he's lifting it right up for us. Let's see what we got. Seeing anything yet. Jason's gonna grab a little more tin out from under there. This whole area is surrounded by tortoise burrows, so they're around here. Have you ever looked for snakes like this before? There are many reasons to appreciate farmers when you're trying to find snakes. I'd say that's about the best reason you can know a farmer. All right, he's getting lined up here. This is where I was walking on earlier. But of course, it's just way too heavy to be able to lift on our own. All right, so I'm gonna stand on this side. Just trying to lift that whole thing up.
Just a little plateau right here, and it's absolutely full of rocks.
So we're gonna see if we can get closer to some of those rock piles. We'll see if anything's coming out to explore it here now that we're in the heat of the afternoon. See if Jason doesn't flip himself first. Oh, that's my gear in the back. I don't want that to fall out. I don't mind if Jason flips, but I really don't want my backpack to spill. Let's see how far I can climb up here. Golly, with all these hiding spots. There's snakes around. The problem with this habitat is that it's too good. Sometimes when you got mediocre habitat, that's the best for finding snakes. So when you have mediocre habitat, they live there, but they don't have a lot of choices. So they're only going to be in a few places.
If you got this pristine habitat like we have today, they have a million hiding places they could be in. So it takes a lot of luck, a lot of persistence, a lot of time before you ever find them. But we'll climb up here, we'll see what we can see. This beautiful Georgia woodland habitat. So rock hopping is nice because you don't accidentally step on snakes, because you can see what you're stepping into, less vegetation. The bad part of it is sometimes the rocks will crumble. Like right here, I'll hop down onto this one, see if it doesn't crumble. All right, that's good, that one didn't crumble.
They all crumble when I step.
Did you hear what Jason said? So they all crumble when he steps on them. So it takes a lot of patience, a lot of scanning, spend a lot of time moving your eye slowly over all these crevices.
Unfortunately, flipping rocks and logs didn't turn up any snakes for us that day in Georgia, but it is one of my favorite ways to find snakes when I'm home in Pennsylvania. Flipping rocks and logs feels just like opening a present on Christmas morning. You never know what you're going to get. Here are a couple of my recent Pennsylvania flips from this year. Oh, check it out, a northern brown snake. Oh, I love finding eastern milk snakes. This one was already pretty warm and was a quick mover. This log was full of surprises. First, there's a northern ringneck. Ringneck snakes have beautiful yellow or orange bellies, but looking closer, there was a bonus salamander. Now, let's get back to our Georgia trip, where we're about to find another reptile.
So right up here, he's moving pretty good. Let's get to him before he goes in his burrow.
I wonder what burrow he's going to go into. Maybe he'll lead us to a snake.
This is a gopher tortoise, and this is actually a threatened species in Georgia. Hang on, fella, we're not going to mess with you. This is a threatened species in Georgia. And he's like, do I come out of my shell? Do I keep on walking? What do I do? You keep on going, buddy. We're not going to mess with you. Very cool.
I wonder how many of these tortoises live on this ranch, because we've seen so many burrows. We're losing counts of the burrows. And how many tortoises might share one burrow? Any idea?
One. Yeah.
And how many burrows do you think one tortoise uses?
Usually one. Sometimes two, but usually one.
So for every tortoise burrow that we find, if it's active, there's probably one tortoise around for that burrow. Is that what you're thinking?
Yep.
It's getting better, guys. I just happened to look over on a side trail and I see this giant tortoise lumbering around the woods. Up in the north, we have 14 different kinds of turtle species in Pennsylvania. They're almost all aquatic or semi-aquatic. We have one that lives on land, the eastern box turtle, but we don't have any native tortoises up in the north. So it is a treat for me to be down here in Georgia. Tortoises are very important. They're herbivores, and being herbivores, that means they're going to be eating nothing but plants. And as they eat those seeds, they walk around, they go to the bathroom, they spread those seeds inside these little fertilizer packets. So they help pollinate as they're going from plant to plant. So they do a lot of seed spreading, a lot of pollinating, and then they dig these deep holes in the ground, the burrows. And so far all day we have seen burrows, but this is the first tortoise that we've actually seen. Now they're protected in Georgia, so we're not going to touch this one. We're getting closer to finding that snake we're looking for, and finding reptiles on the move is a good sign. The only other reptile we found so far today was not on the move. He was hiding underneath those couch cushions, so we had to flip those to find the lizard. But this tortoise was fully active, full speed ahead when we saw him. That means it's getting warm enough in the afternoon. The tortoises are moving around, so it's likely the snakes are going to be out moving around.
A lot of people prefer to look for snakes on foot, but I actually ride over 100 miles a week looking for snakes on my bicycle. Bicycle trails offer a perfect basking opportunity for reptiles, and if you're on a paved trail, that black pavement can heat up nice and warm in the sun. When I see snapping turtles on the side of the trail, I leave them alone, but if they're on the trail, I like to help them cross. When you're on a bicycle trail, snakes are easy to observe from pretty far away, but this rat snake was definitely going to get run over if I didn't move him, although he didn't seem to appreciate my help. Well, let's get back to Georgia. No one ever said finding snakes was easy. Many of my best adventures involve sweat and bruises, ticks and thorns, and plenty of sunburn and poison ivy. On our Georgia trip, we took some chances entering dilapidated buildings and walking around sharp rocks and rusty old nails. By the end of the day, we were ready to shift gears and do a little road cruising in the van. Road cruising is probably the best way to cover the most miles with the least amount of effort. On cold days like this one, we were hoping to see some snakes on the road in the middle of the afternoon. But in the heat of the summer, it's very common to find snakes in the road all night long. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything in the road on this adventure. But here's a big rat snake I found road cruising once with my friend Bill Love. He took this picture and it actually appeared in Reptiles magazine. And here's a box turtle I found road cruising once on my way to a hiking trail. I think all herpers will agree that road cruising is definitely the most comfortable way to find snakes. Finally, the number one and most important method I recommend for finding snakes is not what you might have guessed. I thought about recommending agricultural areas like this cotton field that has a great mix of sun and shade. Better yet is something like the peanut field on the same property that has equally attractive habitat, plus it's growing a crop that will attract mice and rats and other critters on a snake's dinner menu. We didn't catch them all on film, but we found lots of mice and rats around the farm fields all day. I also thought about recommending power line cuts or other man-made areas right in the middle of the woods. It's true these places offer snakes the best of both worlds, where humans have added food sources and basking spots to traditional wilderness areas. These things are all important, but the number one method for finding snakes is actually the reason we did not film any snakes on this trip: weather and temperatures. Snakes are cold-blooded, so you have to go out when they're out. Unfortunately, the temperatures took a dip on the one day I was going to be in Georgia on rescue business because I was transporting some reptiles from our rescue to Jason's rescue. With temps rising into the 60s that afternoon, we were hoping we would still see some snakes out basking. But after a night in the low 40s, I think a lot of them decided to sleep in. Jason keeps plenty of his own snakes for educational programs, and it would have been pretty easy for us to set up a fake snake discovery for this video. But we would rather show you the reality of how hard it is to find snakes, even for two guys who have found thousands of them, especially when the weather is not ideal. Of course, you never know. I found this rat snake in December in Pennsylvania last year with temps in the low 50s, with temperatures the night before in the 30s. So just when you think you have it all figured out, nature keeps you humble. So the number one best way to find snakes is to get out there at the right time, under the right temperatures, with the right friends, and hope and pray. Thanks for giving reptiles a chance. See you next time. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Hopefully we'll find more snakes on our next trip, but that's what makes it so great when we do find something. What did you think about my list? Which snake fighting methods are your favorite, and what methods do you think I left out that should have made the list? Can't wait to read these comments. Also, don't forget that Jason also made a video of this adventure from his own hillbilly perspective. Click the link in the description to watch the same story, only with Jason's Southern Fried accent and 3rd grade reading level. I'm just kidding, of course. If you love our channel, I know you'll definitely think Jason's channel is at least half as good. So make sure to check out Southeastern Reptile Rescue at Snakes R Us TV and subscribe to both of us.